Hi everyone, it is Sylvan from Sylvan's Way, and today I'm really excited to share with you a deck that I found on Etsy that is actually my namesake. So I'm super excited about it. I don't normally go on Etsy to look for decks, but I just thought I would. And I came across this and I'm super excited. So it's actually called the Sylvankind Oracle and it's by Greg White. So this is his, I looked it up and I think it was a Kickstarter that's actually where it started. But it's about trees and the forest and our connection to them. So I got the Oracle deck as well as the guidebook. I don't remember if you could buy them separate, like maybe a digital guidebook. So you're going to have to go look. I don't remember exactly. So before we look at the deck itself, let's look at this guidebook so we can find out what this Oracle deck is all about. So let me move all of those things out of the way. Okay, beautiful front cover. It is a very good size. Look at that. Good size deck. Or not deck, but guidebook. It's fully colored with full images in it. And the other thing that's really cool is that the cards are broken out by different subjects. And so he actually went through the guidebook and put these tabs on them so it's easy to find the information if you wanted to go read about that particular card. So I thought that was super awesome. So here is an introduction, and I'll just read a little tiny bit of it so that you get some history and some background on it. It says the ancestors of modern humans lived in the trees of ancient African forest among the highest branches, and these early primitives foraged for food, raised their young, and hid from danger. Several million years ago, the climate of our habitat shifted. Conditions became drier, and the once lush and forested regions slowly morphed into open grasslands. In the face of this colossal change, our ancestors had a choice: either retreat with the receding forest or adapt to this burgeoning grassy landscape. Modern humans are descendants of the ones that chose to the later option. And then it goes into specific information about that change. And then he says, although most of us no longer live amongst the trees, the bond we share with these towering entities remains profound. Where would our species be without them? They nourish us with their fruit, purify the air we breathe, and cool our concrete and urban landscapes. We use their wood to build our homes and produce the paper that lines our books. Trees absorb and store the carbon we emit, and their roots stabilize the earth during downpours. Furthermore, we instinctively recognize trees as wisdom holders. Since time immemorial, cultures around the world have shared the lore of woodlands and revered tree spirits who inhabited them. Many of our classic stories have been set against a forested backdrop full of magic and mystery. If you walk through the woods with a settled mind, it's nearly impossible to deny the sacredness that surrounds you. The wisdom that trees shares is readily available. It's our task to be receptive to their messages. And so I thought that was a beautiful opening, and I wanted to share it with you. And then he goes over the deck. There are 64 cards in the deck, and they're divided into 8 suits, each containing 8 cards. Every card in this collection features a different tree or tree-like plant. The nature spirits depicted in this deck are illustrated in humanoid form to represent the connection humanity shares with the trees and forests of the world. So this is where it's broken out. We've got red, fruit, emotions and relationships; orange, blossoms, career and creativity; yellow, seeds, material wealth and finances; green, leaves, thinking and mental states; blue, branches, methods of communication; indigo, bark, home and environment; violet, roots; spirit and interconnection. Brown is trunks, physical, body, and aging. So within the book, you will find an explanation of the meaning behind each card. These explanations will also include a description of the artwork and information on the featured tree or tree-like species. And then he goes into deck and guidebook usages, and then ends it with, may this deck book be of service to you. And I thought that was really sweet. So he goes into, then each suit has this opening page where it explains what the suit of fruit, for example, is about. And then it goes into the card itself, and it gives you a full image of the card. It gives you the title of the card with the keywords, a description, and then further information about the card. So it's super cool. It's going to be super fun to work with this deck and go through these cards. So each one of them is like that. So let's just do some cartomancy and just, choose a random one and do some reading on it. So clarity. Clarity is part of the green group. The green group is suit of leaves. So leaves are vital structures of trees because without them, they would starve. Unlike fungi and animals, trees are capable of generating their own food supply using energy from the sun. Leaves convert carbon dioxide and water into sugar and oxygen through the process of photosynthesis. And then he gives you more information about leaves. And so I chose this number 6, clarity. So let's take a look at this. It looks like it's some bears here. Unfortunately, all of these trees have been chopped down, and it looks like the life of the tree is still there attached to the root. So let's read what clarity is about. Keywords: abrupt change, truth, insight. The featured tree is a Sakota. I hope I said it right. A mother bear and her 2 cubs stand at the edge of a clear cut. In the middle of this ravaged land, a massive Sakota once grew. When the fallen giant was just a sapling, Genghis Khan was conquering lands half a world away. The narrow leaves of its highest branches once reached 300 feet above the ground, and its boughs had served as homes for countless creatures. Recently, these emerald hills hummed with the callous drone of machinery as every tree within this old growth forest was removed with startling efficiency. A pillar of golden light now shines upward from the base of the missing giant, outlining its once majestic form. So that makes me really sad. I don't know about you, but that makes me really sad, the thought that this is happening. My husband and I are planning a trip out to California to see, or actually not California, but Oregon, to see some friends at the end of the month. And we're going to go see the Great Redwoods. And if I see anything like this, I'm probably going to cry because it's really sad. Trees are very important. I wish they wouldn't be devastating our old forests and the rainforest and all of those things. There's plenty of space where they've already devastated it. Plant some more trees and harvest them. Leave our old forests alone. Anyway, enough of that, right? Let's go back to reading what is the rest of this card. The appearance of this card speaks to the clarity that emerges during great loss or tragedy. In these difficult times, our priorities are made abundantly clear. Distractions and trivial matters lose their grip as our mind shifts its focus to what really matters. Tragedies remind us of how fragile our circumstances are. They help us to realize how little time we are all given, that our daily lives, which we take for granted, are not actually guaranteed. This insight is a glimmering treasure. When this card is revealed, you are being encouraged to make the most of this short and precious life in whatever ways are meaningful to you. You need not be personally involved in a tragic event for it to have a profound effect on us, because we are empathetic beings. Learning of someone else's pain, loss, or suffering can inspire us to make positive changes both in our lives and in the lives of others. Wow, that's really friggin' moving. This whole deck is going to make me cry. Every single one of these. I know I just did a deck review earlier this week, and I had said that it was about the fairy tales, and that I wanted to read the whole entire guidebook by itself, only because I was fascinated by the fairy tales and why she chose them. Now I'm going to say the same thing about this deck. These messages are so moving. I just want to sit and read this entire beautiful book. It is absolutely awesome. Like, I love a good guidebook. Thank you so much, Craig, for making this awesome guidebook. I think I am really going to enjoy reading this. Okay, so that's the guidebook. Let's look at the deck. So it comes in this nice box. It's a nice sturdy box with this nice sturdy magnetic closure. This is the back. The sides are simple. It just has the name of it on the side of it. And then on the inside, it says, what does kindness look like? And he was kind enough to send me a couple of stickers. Oop, one of them fell out. So this is another deck that he actually offers that I saw on his page. And I think he's going to have a Kickstarter pretty soon to relaunch these. So these are pretty cool. So thank you very much for the stickers that you sent. So those are the stickers. And then this is the deck. And that's the inside of the guide, the deck. It's not, I'm sorry, the inside of the box. It's not anything to write home about, but it is a nice box. Okay. So this is the back. This is the back of them. These are the sides. So they're not gilded. And then these are the cards. So let's look at each one of these cards. Okay. So we have passion, family. Look at that little one in there. Manipulation. This would be interesting to see what kind of manipulation. It looks like maybe an apple tree, like there's apples here. Safeguard. Longing. Very curious what he's looking out through in this portal. Tenderness. Look, one of her breasts is missing. Aww. Communication. Presence. Oh my gosh. I don't know why this has hit me so hard. Wow, I got some goosebumps now. I got some goosebumps. Look at this tree. Wow. Okay. Whew. Uncertainty. Oh, look at them. They're almost like dancing. So these are each limb of this single tree dancing. Aw. Decision. It almost like looks like he's about to hit a drum or something. I wonder what that's about. Adversity. Oh, the skeletons of the trees. You know, I forget where this famous place is, but there's that where they've taken beautiful pictures of fossilized trees in the desert. That's all that's left is some of their trunks and their limbs. And they've got their skeleton here. Inspiration. So there's a hummingbird that's made a nest. Transformation. So this is interesting. Look at him. He's made some sort of broth maybe out of the tree's limbs, and he's inhaling it to enhance himself. Boundaries. It's like, hey, I'm going to grow my stuff way up here so you can't eat it. I wonder if that's probably it. Connection. Look at the connection it has with this web of life. Guidance. I think this is on the cover. Gratitude. Aw, look at him he's holding a little goat. Oh my goodness, I love goats. Well, who doesn't love a good goat? Independence. So, I don't know what that's light. the sun and the tree. Exchange. Preparation. Survival. Look, she's trimming this leaf from her. Sustainability. Priorities. Look at it, it's like he's doing math calculations in his head. Offering. Look at that. I bet you that's an oak. Those look like oak leaf. Oh, and there's an acorn. And look at this guy, this chipmunk. Aw, he's so cute. And he's got like a little acorn hanging in his forehead. And that oak provides shelter and food to that guy. Focus. This must be maybe a willow tree or something because they're very flexible. I don't know. Well, I'll find out. I'm going to read the book. Trust. Look at, there's animals making nests within the hollow of that tree. Renumination. Yeah, close enough. So he's holding, oh, wait. I think that's a baby bird that's died. Or a little bird. Aww. Aww. Redemption. So this tree died somehow, but there's another tree growing up inside of it. It's amazing. Distraction. So he's making little stone castles here, but he looks off and he's looking at this butterfly. Clarity. That's the one that we saw in the book and we read in the book. Confidence. Growing that sunshine light from inside. Discernment. It's a pear tree. Indication. So look, there's like little things in the water. Curiosity. So there's a book. Maybe a book has been made out of this tree. Withdraw. This tree is growing on an island by itself in the middle of this water. Look at the leaves. All the leaves are made into like little boats. So cute. Self-expression. So he's drawing. It looks like he's drawing a cloud almost. Intuition. Look at that little frog. Touch. Voice. So it looks like the air that's coming into the tree is coming out of the top. It almost looks like a pine tree. And it's singing maybe in the breeze. And the wolves are singing with him. Listen. Haven. So go through there and you find tranquility, peace, and someplace safe. Tethered. Wow, look at these whales in the background going through the sky, and this one's tethered to the earth. Like all trees. Trees are tethered. Acquisition. That's interesting. I wonder what that's about. Because there's an owl here, and then there's some crows and like some sort of space or a hollowed out part. Maybe the crows using this. I don't know. Maybe it was the crows and the owl took it over. Responsibility. Looks like she's doing some preening on her leaves there. Release. This guy, look at him. He looks like he's a little angry. Does he look angry to you? Maybe he needs to release that anger. Or maybe he's got reason, because look at these other trees. Wish. Exploration. Oh, how fascinating. Look at the way that this tree is on this sea turtle. But then also, there's all of these little tiny images in here. So maybe trees can go explore by becoming other things. Maybe that's what that card is about. Belonging. A safe space for that bear and her cub. Delusion. Attachment. Rooster. Look at that rooster. Aversion. So, you know, they put, like, some trees have prickly things on it to keep dangerous stuff off of it. To, you know, they don't want it to be on there. Insecurity. Aw, he's crying honey. Pride. Wow, that almost looks like an octopus, doesn't it? But it looks like a tree that's like expanded and took over a great big area. Like, there's a tree in Florida. When I lived in Florida, was it a banyan tree that drops from the top of the tree? It actually, its roots come out of its limbs and actually drop and then create new trunks. So a banyan tree over time can get bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger. And they're a protected tree, especially the bigger ones. And they're absolutely amazing and gorgeous when you see the banyan trees in Florida. So I wonder if this is a banyan tree. Balance. I like that not all trees are thin, tiny little trees, that this tree has some curves. Impermanence. So it kind of looks like this dinosaur. This is, you know, what happened when the dinosaurs got wiped off the planet. But maybe these trees in the background still exist. So they're impermanence over time. Emptiness. Aw. Growth. Strain. These trees are amazing. Protection. Breath. Oh, these dandelions. Look at that. Breathe on those and they'll fly everywhere. Nourishment. Resistance. Look at, so this happens. I remember being, you know, on the beaches, that wind coming off the beach, the tree ends up having all of its leaves on one side because the wind blows it so much that they're protected by the trunk and the front half of the tree, and so they all grow on the back side of it. It's really cool. Rest and disintegration. Interesting. So those are the cards. Let's do a quick shuffle. I think these will be easy to shuffle because I think this is a normal 70 by 122 millimeter. So, you know, that first time getting them in my hands is always interesting. They shuffle well. Whoops. Yeah, I do that. I didn't. That was my fault. That's not the cards. That was my fault. So that's a pretty good shuffle. I like a good riffle shuffle. I know some people don't like shuffling that way. They do this hand over. That works too, but I feel like a riffle shuffle like shuffles them the best. Okay, so that was the cards. Now let's look at some pairings. Yay, pairings. I like to do pairings. Okay, my very first one is the Tarot of Traditions. I thought that the colors of this deck went really well, or would go really well. I haven't seen this deck too much on the Tarot Tube. I edged mine in this red. I really like it because it's kind of my color. It's my colors that I like the most. So, well, it definitely does not go with this purple, does it? But it does go with this one because there's definitely no purple in the Tarot of Traditions. So it looks like it would go with some of the cards, but not all the cards. But, you know, yeah. Oh, it doesn't really, see, but then it goes with this one. Poop. Interesting. See, and it goes. It's definitely not a perfect match because those purples just throw it off. So that was the Tarot of Traditions. Let's try a different one. Maybe this next one will go with it better. And I think that there is a more varied color palette in this next one. And this is, of course, you know, my MJ. I love my MJ. And so the Crow Tarot. And there's more colors in the Crow Tarot. Now, this Crow Tarot, oops, I'm totally messing these cards up down here. Let me fix those. Okay, this Crow Tarot, I did a big change on this. I actually cut all the borders off of it and I edged it in this blue and I gave it a nice, really, I don't know what to call it. Like it's really rounded on the corners. Oh no, there's my dog crying. He must have woke up and realized there was nobody around. Here we go with the crying again while I'm doing a video. Oh my goodness. It's just the tragedy. Oh, it's so real. I'm going to pause it for a second and go yell at them. Hold on. Okay, unpaused. Big old crybabies. This probably is going to work. This combination of the Crow Tarot with Sylvankind Oracle. Let's take a look at a couple of these. Yeah. Yeah, see how there's more colors in the Crow Tarot. So it fits in better. We should get to a purple card and see how the purple looks with it. Because, of course, all of these, oh my gosh, what a good combo. Where's the purple? Looking for a purple card. There we go. Yes, see? And there's purple in this card. And that blue. So it definitely goes. Yay. Now, I like this combo. Of course, anything to combine with my Crow Tarot makes me super happy. So that, I mean, even the artwork, they really go together. It's like they're meant to be friends. Let's be friends. I love it. That's fantastic. What a good combo. I think this is a winner. I love it when I get a winner. Okay, so that is the Crow Tarot. Our next one is a new one that I got while I was on vacation, is the Nature Spirit Tarot. So I thought maybe this would go mostly just because it's a nature spirit and we are talking about tree spirits, so nature spirit. So let's see how this goes together. Now I don't know. I think there's, yeah, see there's some purple in these cards too. Definitely not the same artwork, but tree spirits, nature spirit, kind of the same colors. Yeah, see we got reds in there to go with the red. And look, that purple goes with it. Yeah. So the Nature Spirit Tarot looks like it goes with Sylvankind Oracle. Beautiful. That works for me. Okay. Let's look at another one. Another one of my favorites is the Tarot of the Witch's Garden. So I thought that would go because we're talking about gardens, trees and gardens. They got to go together, right? Let's take a look at that. See, doesn't it look like this pan guy should be playing out here in these trees? I think it goes. Yep. So that's another good pairing. I still like my Crow Tarot more, but this would definitely go with it. So if you have Sylvankind Oracle, and the Witch's Garden, you could definitely combine them. You can use them together. Okay. My last one that I have is an oldie but goodie as well that I think everybody has probably seen before. So it's not anything new. So the possibility that you might have this in your decks is the Wild Unknown Tarot. I felt like, of course, the Wild Unknown, maybe that would go with it as well. Besides, like this simple artwork does always seem to go with a lot of things as well. And see all the color variation? All these different colors in here. I figured it would go. And it does. It's definitely a different art style. But I think you could do it. Very nature. So I definitely think you could do this as a pairing as well. It's not my favorite. I think for me, it would be the Crow Tarot, then the Tarot of the Witch's Garden, then the Nature Spirit Tarot. I would like that one. Then this one, and then of course the last one will be Traditions, because even though Traditions goes with some of the cards, I think that the purple, that since there's no purple at all in that deck anywhere, I think probably it just doesn't go. So that is the Wild Unknown Tarot. Okay. And that is the Sylvankind Oracle. So I don't know, have you guys seen this? Have you seen this before? I don't remember seeing any videos on it before. So this was new to me when I saw it out on Etsy. And of course I had to get it because, you know, I'm Sylvan, and so it makes sense that I would want the Sylvankind Oracle. So that is that. So let me know what you think. How would you use it? What would you pair it with? You know, all of the normal questions that, you know, we ask each other. And what do you think about this? So until next time, thank you very much. Thanks for watching. Give me a thumbs up. Definitely give me a thumbs up. Make a comment. Talk to me. Definitely want to hear what you say. But thumbs up and subscribe. Please subscribe to my channel. I would really appreciate it. Awesome. Thank you. Bye.